Welcome to another episode of Meet the Experts with Howie Carr, a new podcast featuring long-form interviews with guests who have a specialized field of expertise. Today's guest is David Brieger, known to many throughout New England and beyond as Silver Dave of local Silver Mint in Ware, New Hampshire. With Howie, Silver Dave explains his revelatory introduction to the world of precious metals, the importance of owning physical silver, and how he's helping others to prepare for a potential meltdown of the monetary system as we know it. Here's your host of Meet the Experts, Howie Carr.
Welcome to this latest edition of Meet the Experts with Howie Carr, and my guest this week is Silver Dave, a.k.a. David Brieger. He was a Green Beret in the Army Special Forces, a combat veteran, Valor Award recipient, entrepreneur, and inventor. Silver Dave is the founder of Local Silver Mint. That's a New Hampshire-based precious metals dealer and silver minting operation, making a variety of silver products designed to help Americans survive and thrive during the trying financial times that we find ourselves in. Silver Dave, welcome to Meet the Experts.
Thanks, Howie. It's great to be on.
First of all, tell us a little bit more about your background and how you got into the silver business.
I was in the Army Special Forces, and I had traveled to a number of different countries, and everywhere I went, I would try to learn things from what I would experience and see. And when I went to Afghanistan, I felt that I had to really question a lot of what I had believed about the wars, whether they were truly for freedom and liberty for Americans or something else. And I also observed that most of the different countries that were in Afghanistan with forces there, and in particular the United States, were wasting massive amounts of money on overpriced, useless crap only to get kickbacks. And I mean, literally, they were paying 10 times the cost of hammers and other things just so that people would get kickbacks from the seller and the person who is in charge of buying these items. And so I wondered, how could the system work this way, and how is this sustainable? And after my Afghanistan trip, I returned home and I decided to deep dive into researching the money, the monetary system, and the financial system. When I did that, I discovered that the money that we are using is actually paper tickets that were previously convertible into silver and gold, but that in 1964, the coins were made of silver. But in 1965, they switched the coins with silver-colored coins that contain no actual silver. Since then, there's been a massive amount of dollar inflation, and the price of goods and services when paid in dollar has gone up to an exponential degree. When I came to that discovery, I decided I didn't want to work for the government anymore, even though I had a stellar career and I was making a lot of money as a Special Forces operator. I decided that I wanted to get into the silver business because I wanted to help Americans with this problem that I had discovered. And so I finished my term and I left the Army with high honors, but to pursue this business. And as they say, the rest is history.
Silver Dave, the internet has been on people's minds lately. Social media, most recently, and AT&T went down the previous week, and they're blaming all sorts of software maladjustments or whatever. Everybody's thinking, what happens if the grid goes down? Why is silver a good thing to have if there is really a massive problem with the grid at some point?
Well, to me, that's one of the top reasons why you want to have physical silver. And by physical silver, I mean silver that you possess, not a silver contract that's held in a vault somewhere else for you. And having that silver in your possession is very important because in the event of a grid down or a scenario such as that, you will still have something you can trade people for essential goods and services.
Why should you choose silver over crypto? I mean, crypto is very popular these days, as you know, very fashionable.
Yes, and it is popular, and it's been promoted quite a bit, and that was by design. Silver is a real asset whose value is derived from its usefulness as a material to make a great multitude of things. Crypto, on the other hand, is digits on a computer screen which have no value to keep. nothing can be made out of it, and its value is only the theory that it will go up in price. And I would also mention that I see cryptocurrencies as being a tool which is under the control of the global power elite. These are the people that literally make the top decisions and that they control most of the world as we see it. And I believe that cryptocurrency was put out in order to be used as a tool to usher in the new digital track and trace everything currency, which is quite oppositional to freedom, liberty, and independence for Americans. So to me, silver is a money of freedom. It's something that you have, and it can't just go to zero. Crypto can in an instant go to zero, or your accessibility to it can go away.
Now, Silver Dave, if there's a crisis, if there is a problem and everything starts to break down, how could people who own silver, how could they use it to buy gas or food directly?
So that's such a funny question, because what makes me laugh is just that the simplicity of silver and gold is that you can literally hand it to a person in exchange for goods and services. So you don't need to get your app, open up your phone and get an app going, and that you need to have internet and that you need a bunch of codes. It's just as simple as it's something that you can hand to a person for goods and services, and it doesn't spoil, it doesn't rot. It's worked for this purpose for thousands of years.
How big is the silver that you're selling to people at Silver Dave's?
Well, we have a multitude of different products here at local Silver Mint in Ware, New Hampshire, and we sell the most popular products that people are used to, like American Silver Eagles and American Gold Eagles and Canadian Maple Leafs, 10-ounce bars, 100-ounce bars, and we sell a variety of those popular silver products that people are used to buying. However, one of the products that we make is 1/10 ounce silver. The reason that we're making 1/10 ounce silver is that even though those previously mentioned products are very popular, I felt that there was a void in this industry and that we really needed small pieces, and that smaller pieces of silver are really important to have, because if there's a financial calamity, I would see people needing not jet skis and motorboats, but basic essentials like a dozen eggs or a basket of vegetables. And whatever is the smallest piece of silver that you have, to me, that's what you're going to pay for those items.
How big would 1/10 of an ounce be? Is it like the size of a dime or a quarter or what?
1/10 of an ounce is roughly the size of a dime. The thing about the dimes is that they have a difficult math to them. I like silver dimes a lot, the pre-1965 U.S. currency dimes. The downside to them is that they don't say silver anywhere on them, and they contain 0.0715 troy ounces of silver. So the math of it is a little harder for people to do, versus 1/10 ounce silver is really easy because it's just move a decimal point. If the silver spot price is $25, well, it's worth about $2.50 for a tenth of silver. Just to go on a little deeper into this, our 1/10 ounce silver was made for the purpose of barters and trades, and that we put giant letters on the front of it that says 1/10 ounce 999 silver. So when you hand it to a person, it's very obvious what it is, versus the silver dimes, though they're really good. If you gave someone a dime for a dozen eggs and he was not knowledgeable about coins,
right,
he might say, what is this, 10 cents? Now you've got to give him a history lesson.
So I could go to Silver Dave, and the 1/10 of an ounce silver coin is what it amounts to. That's $2.50 right now, or about $2.50.
Yeah, roughly about $2.50 worth of silver. There's a little bit of a cost of making them,
right?
So they sell for about $3.
Okay.
And we typically would encourage people to spend them for at least what you paid for them, but that it's really easy math because of that. And I think that going forward in the future, it's going to be really important to have those little pieces of silver, because if you had 1 ounce silver and bigger, it's kind of like going to a place where everything is really cheap, but all you have is $100 bills. Everyone's going to say, I don't have any change, and you're going to pay $100 for everything. So for a $3 piece of silver really gives you that flexibility for bars.
So what's the most popular thing you have? These dimes, these 1/10 ounce or bigger products?
In terms of dollar amount spent, we probably sell the most in dollars worth of 1 ounce gold eagles and 1 ounce gold buffaloes, kilo and 10 ounce silver bars. And that probably takes the majority of the dollars that we're taking in. However, in terms of quantity, it's definitely our 1/10 ounce silver, just because there's 10 of them per ounce. And so we sell them literally by the hundreds of thousands, both at our local store and through most of the top online dealers.
What's been the increase in the price of silver since the start of the year?
This past few months, we've seen roughly about a 7% gain in the price of silver. However, I think things are really only just getting started, because right now we can see the financial system is unraveling, and people are becoming aware of that, and they're seeing that the financial system is rickety, and they're concerned, and they're losing faith in the system, and they're looking for something to get into that's a better store of value than dollars. However, there is a big distraction, and that big distraction is cryptocurrency, which is actually nothing disguised as something. And the global power elite, they control it, and that's how it hasn't been shut off, because they've allowed it. They control the price of it. And by pushing the price up, they know that will tantalize people to throw their wealth into it. However, like most frauds, it ends up with people investing into it, losing all their money. And
called a bubble.
All this, yes, I think that's a really good way to describe it, as a bubble. But this bubble is, I would say, intentional, because the global power elite, which is what I like to call them, they are accumulating a lot of silver and gold right now at lower prices. And they know that as the financial system unravels, they don't want people to start buying gold and silver, because they want to accumulate the gold and silver. And so they don't want all the gold and silver to get sucked back out into the mainstream populace. So instead, they have this distraction, which is cryptocurrency, and they can pump it up and suck all this money into it while keeping the precious metals prices low. That way, people don't start giving it attention. And so the price gains in silver over this past few months, though they have been there, and this past few days in particular, we've been seeing some major action and price gains. But to me, I think that the biggest gains actually come when the music stops. And what I mean by that is that when the financial system really goes into a major disaster situation, that's when the price of silver and gold emerges. And in the short term, they've papered over the silver markets. And so most of the silver market is paper. And in turn, that drives the price down lower. But that's only temporary. They can't do that forever. So that the gains this past few months, though they are there, I think it's nothing compared to what is coming. And in the future, I think there's a potential for a silver price correction that is like something people could not ever imagine. And to just go a little further, I realize I'm going a little bit deep in this, but this coming financial situation, I think, is something that no living person has seen, that no one alive today has seen the type of financial disaster that is coming. And that was done for a reason. It was timed that way, and that people aren't expecting this, but that's why they really want to have physical silver and gold so that they can get goods and services.
Let me just do a little aside here. Can you get gold at local silver mint?
Yes. So we have a great selection of gold coins and bars, and we have the most popular gold coins and bars in stock and on display in our beautiful showroom here in Ware, New Hampshire. We also have silver. We also have platinum and palladium. We have a variety of precious metals. Our focus is largely silver, but if you're looking for gold, we are still the best option for that as well.
You know, you said it's up 7% since January 1st, price of silver. How has it done over the past 5 years?
I think that 5 years ago, 2019, well, it depends on what month that you look at. But I'm less fixated on the price gains of silver, even the past year or 5 or 10 years, just because the spot price of silver is so highly manipulated that the gains, they really haven't presented themselves yet. Most of the silver market is paper promises for silver for which no silver exists. And there's a lot of experts that believe that 99% of the silver market is just paper. And if that is true, then what would happen if people were to discover that 99% of the silver in the markets doesn't exist? What would that do to the price of silver?
Right. That's why people don't want to get into the stock market, because they think the price is being manipulated by certain special interests. They think they're going to get burned at the end. And you're saying that what you need to do if you want to buy silver is you have to buy something that you can hold in your hand. That's what you need. You don't need a stock certificate. You need some actual silver. So let me ask you this, Silver Dave. Why does silver hold its value?
Silver holds its value because it's among the most useful materials on the planet. Silver is the best conductor of electricity of any element on the periodic table. I know a lot of people think of gold, but silver is actually a better conductor of electricity than gold. Silver is antibacterial, and it does not corrode. It tarnishes, which is just a color that occurs on the surface, but the silver does not deteriorate, and it is impermeable to almost every acid or salt or chemicals, and so silver lasts virtually forever. And for thousands of years, silver and gold have been valued by the human animal, and never since its discovery has there been a time known when it wasn't valued. Silver holds its value because of that usefulness, that someone who receives it wants to make something out of it down the line. And that's a big distinction to me between the cryptocurrencies, which can't be made into anything and can't be used for anything. So I hope that answers that question.
Cryptocurrency obviously is not used in microchips and semiconductors. However, it's a little different story for silver, is it not?
Yes. Silver is in your phone, your computer, your car, solar panels. Even the clothes that we are wearing would cost tremendously more if they had to be handmade. But instead, with automated mass production systems and machines, the clothes are made for less of a cost, and that is because of the little silver parts that are in these electronic components. You cannot replace silver with steel or aluminum in computers and phones or in these technologies. It wouldn't turn on. You need silver to do that. And if I'll take it even further, did you know that over 50% of all patents in the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office involve silver somewhere in the design? Literally,
I did not know that.
More than
that's amazing.
Incredible?
Do most of our listeners, the people that are listening to us, or your customers in general, do they drive to your location in Ware, New Hampshire, or do they purchase the product in some other ways?
First, I would say a special thanks to you and your amazing staff that we have had so many great people coming to our local store, people coming from Maine, Vermont, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and more to shop at our beautiful showroom in tax-free New Hampshire. People have enjoyed coming to see the items on display with prices so that they can see the pricing and understand the difference between these items. And our local store is designed to cater to people who either A, are experienced silver stackers and gold stackers who know a lot about it, but also people who don't know anything about it. People who are interested in precious metals, but they don't even know where to begin. They can walk into our showroom in Ware, New Hampshire, and they can see the items, they can see the prices, and it really helps to be able to differentiate and to understand the difference between the items so that you can make the best decision for your goals. Additionally, for folks who can't travel to our showroom, they can buy from the online dealers who sell our products and that they can find at localsilvermint.com. They can find links to the dealers to buy our products. They can also see pictures of the different products. And then lastly, for folks who can't come to the store or don't necessarily want to buy from our online dealers, if they want to buy directly from us but have us ship the items to them, that is something that we can do. However, we do have minimums for that just because we're not geared to package and ship lots of small packages, but that we can do it with some minimums. But I think the best thing to do is for a person who lives in a driving distance of local Silver Mint in Ware, New Hampshire, that they come to our showroom and see the items. And then they can pay. A lot of people like to pay cash, and they walk out with the items in their hand. And when you pay cash, you have less digital tracking, less digital signature. You have a little more privacy, and a lot of people really like that.
And they can meet Silver Dave in the showroom, correct?
Thank you. Yes. And they can come in, they can meet me, and they can see our crew here. And we have some really great stuff. And in fact, we even have a whole section for my silver inventions that we make in our mint and that help solve a problem. And most recently, we have a new product that's actually going out today, and it's called Stealth Silver. And it's silver that sort of hides in plain sight. It's sort of disguised as other objects. It's so stealth that I can't actually tell you any more about it than that, except that if people want to see the Stealth Silver, they should come to our showroom and they can see it in the store.
Why should they buy from you, Silver Dave, rather than another vendor?
We have the best selection, the lowest prices, the most displayed items of any precious metals dealer that I've seen. And when you walk into our showroom, local Silver Mint in Ware, New Hampshire, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I have yet to see any dealer that cares as much about providing a top customer experience as we do. And me and my crew are not just doing this as a job. We are true believers in silver and gold.
I could tell.
We're passionate. Okay, thank you. And we're passionate about helping the customers protect their hard-earned wealth with real hard assets.
Okay, Silver Dave, it's been very interesting to talk to you, and I'm very interested in these 1/10 ounce silver coins, bringing me back to my youth as with those old Franklin Delano Roosevelt dimes and the Liberty Mercury dimes as well. I really love those. But how first of all, tell us the website to go to see what local Silver Mint is all about, and give us your phone number, and also give us directions on how to get to Ware, New Hampshire.
If you want to check out our website, please go to localsilvermint.com. Again, that is localsilvermint.com. And if you go there, that's going to give pictures and all kinds of information about the product. You can call us on the phone at 603-748-7996. And also, I should mention, if folks are interested in learning more and watching some videos, they can find our videos on localsilvermint.com, or they can go to Local Silver Mint on YouTube. And please check out our YouTube channel, Local Silver Mint on YouTube. And we have a variety of different videos that talk about silver and different silver products and show people how to test their silver and gold, as well as we have some entertaining and informative videos. And what's interesting about Ware, New Hampshire is that, and that's the name of the town, Ware, New Hampshire, but it's spelled W-E-A-R-E. This is actually the home of the Pine Tree Rebellion, which predated the Revolutionary War, and that was the beginning of the rebellion against King George III, and it was right here, right at the location of local Silver Mint. So we're very proud of that. Even our 1/10 ounce design has the tree that symbolizes the rebellion against King George III. But Ware, New Hampshire is just about 20 minutes west of Concord, New Hampshire.
So it's easy driving distance, basically, from anywhere in New England. So again, to find out more about Silver Dave and Local Silver Mint in Ware, New Hampshire, go to localsilvermint.com or check them out on YouTube. Their phone number is 603-748-7996. Silver Dave, a.k.a. David Brieger, this has been a lot of fun talking to you, and thank you very much for coming on Meet the Experts.
Thank you so much, Howie. It was great being on. Hope you have a great day.
Thank you. Same to you, Silver Dave.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Meet the Experts with Howie Carr. We'll be back soon with even more interesting guests you're sure to learn a great deal from.